Welcome back, fellow muckrakers and Michiganders. My name's Michelle, and I have another article to share with you on the Big Rapids EV battery plant Gotion. This came out February 21st. Confidence lost in Township Supervisor over battery plant talks. Resignation suggested. Members not getting information about negotiations with the Gotion project. Now, I have done a video on an article about the NDAs that have been signed, and this deal and all the other deals when it comes to the electric vehicles here in Michigan. So if you haven't seen that yet, you might want to check it out. But we're going to get into this. This is the board, the Big Rapids Township Board, and this is the supervisor that signed an NDA and knew about the project well in advance of the rest of the board members and the public, the locals around the area that will be affected. So let's see what this article says. The Big Rapids Township Board of Trustees has expressed concerns over the way Township Supervisor Bill Stanek has handled the negotiations with Gotion Inc. for the potential battery component manufacturing facility to be built in Big Rapids and Green Townships. A special meeting was called in January to discuss concerns among board members regarding Supervisor Bill Stanek, including misinformation, lack of information, unethical conduct, and conflict of interest. Stanek told the Pioneer he does not feel there is any truth to the accusations and therefore has no further comment. Alleged misinformation. During the special meeting, it was stated by the Township Clerk Hannah Size, I'm sorry if I'm saying your name wrong, that during an interview with Channels 9 and 10 News, Stanek said Gotion is not a Chinese company. Board members expressed concerns the statement was misleading and inaccurate. There are two main concerns of our residents, the company's origin and the environment. Trustee Penny Curry said during the meeting, if we cannot get the first one right, how are we supposed to get the second one? I don't understand why you don't think it is misleading. We want you to recant your statement with 9 and 10 News. Stanek said he would speak to an attorney about recanting. Trustee Carmen Bean then made a motion they appoint an individual to recant the statement and to revoke the township policy that Stanek is spokesperson for the township. Bean told the Pioneer that the board voted to have the statement recanted and appointed him to speak to 9 and 10 News, which he did. At this time, Stanek remains the spokesperson for the township with respect to the Gotion project. During the January 12th meeting, there were accusations that Stanek breached the township's ethics code and failed to disclose a conflict of interest with regards to the Gotion project due to his position as the Mecosta County Development Corporation Board. Due to his position on the Mecosta County Development Corporation Board. Which I have to say really quick, this MCDC works hand in hand with MEDC. Bean said the board's concerns are based in the lack of information flow. With the Gotion project, a lot of information was flowing everywhere except to the township board, Bean said. We were finding out things, reading them in the Pioneer, or from the Green Township meetings. We were asking for things, and he, Stanek, said, I can't give them to you, or I don't have anything, I haven't talked to anyone. Bean said he contacted Randy Thelen at the right place, and he, Thelen, was surprised they had not received any of the information because there was nothing being sent out that they could not have seen. Several board members said that throughout the Gotion talks, Stanek neglected to inform the board of information discussed during meetings with the Right Place, the MCDC, Gotion representatives, and the Michigan Department of Environment, Great Lakes, and Energy. Size told the Pioneer that Stanek's knowledge about the Gotion project for nearly 15 months before informing the board was unethical. She added they have asked to be included in meetings for months, and when they would inquire about what occurred in the meetings, Stanek would share very little about them. A project of such a massive scale undoubtedly impacts far more than our most typical and simple voted on decisions. We have been pushed along in the dark with very minimal information. Thankfully, after much discussion, including our attorney, we are seemingly able to convince Stanek he needs to disclose information with us, even if he deems it unimportant. We may not. there has been slight progress. It is written in our ethics policy that if something is to affect the township on any level, it must be shared and discussed with all board members immediately. Additionally, it would have been immensely beneficial so that we could have had proper time to research the company, discuss it with our attorney, engineer, and residents to pose all the questions to prevent future conflicts, potential conflicts. That makes sense to me. Another sticking point for the board was the fact that Stanek has served on the board of the MCDC without informing them of his position on the board. We had a meeting where we were voting on contracting with the MCDC for economic development representation being said. It is 3-3 and time for Bill to vote. He votes, and it passes. Then later in the meeting, he told us he was on the MCDC executive board, and he had not disclosed that to us. He is on the MCDC executive board and didn't disclose it and still voted. All of this seems like a big conflict of interest to me. Being said that during the same meeting, Stanek told the board he had signed a non-disclosure agreement with the MCDC, and that was why he was not giving them the information they requested. I want to go up for a minute. It is written in our ethics policy that if something is to affect the township on any level, it must be shared and discussed with all board members. So the local government ethics policy gets out-trumped by the NDA. Okay. Let's see. He said he signed a non-disclosure agreement with the MCDC, and that trumped his responsibility to the township. Being said, it does not. When you look at our ethics policy, you cannot represent two different entities at the same time. We asked him to rescue himself from making decisions on this, the Gotion project, or at least get more people involved. We told him, you are the township supervisor and you have to represent the township. So the fact that he's representing MCDC over the township needs to be known by all. Sai said they were given a legal opinion by the township attorney, and although there was not anything technically illegal by Stanek serving as treasurer of the MCDC, not disclosing that to the board was certainly unethical. So yeah, he's a treasurer. He's in charge of money. He likes money. The board has since appointed 2 members, allegedly. The board has since appointed 2 members to be in on all future correspondence or negotiations regarding the Gotion project, as well as any meetings with the township attorney, he said. Call for resignation. During the meeting, being called for Stanek's resignation in response to his handling of the Gotion project. That may have been in the heat of the moment. Being said, I think my point was more to say we need to do this differently. You are not representing the citizens, and you need to do better or walk away. I have considered it thoroughly for quite some time, and I still feel the same way. Good on you, Bean. Way to represent the people that voted you in. Represent the people that you're supposed to be working for. He said Stanek does a lot of things unilaterally, in which the board may have already made a decision to do it differently, and the board is getting fed up with it. Bill has done a lot for the community. He is a hard-working man, and I believe he has the best interests of the township in mind. But I stand by my statement that our confidence in him is non-existent at this time. There has been much controversy over the topic of the Gotion project, Sign said, and the board has had extensive conversations with an attorney on the matter. We wouldn't be spending the amount of money we have if it wasn't a decision we were seriously considering, she said. We wouldn't be holding so many meetings to support our constituents' concerns and spreading thousands of surveys. We wouldn't be meeting with experts in every field to research every aspect of the topic. The positive economic impacts of a project like this are obvious, she said, but they have asked specific questions that have not been answered regarding number of jobs guaranteed, a water study, and many others. Our attorney is sending a list of our extremely important unanswered questions to Gotion and their engineer after working closely with our engineer. I know that until we receive the answers we need, we are not comfortable making any decisions. I appreciate the due diligence of the rest of the board members. I do not appreciate the supervisor's conflict of interest, and I suggest that you look into everything that I say. Don't ever just trust me. Never outsource your thinking. But you need to look into MEDC and MCDC and the right place. So there's some rabbit holes for you. I will be sharing more articles and more of the rabbit hole that I have found, but it's always good to do your own research and rake a little muck yourself. So thank you very much for watching. If you like this video, please hit the like button, subscribe if you care about the story as much as I do, and hit the notification bell to stay updated. Thank you again for watching. I'll see you in the next one.